Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome, friends and family from around the world to the Energetic Life Now show. I am your host, Coach Eric, and it is an honor and privilege to have you tuning in, joining us tonight. And just want to say hello and welcome and thank you to everyone that's joining in, whether this is your first time tuning in or your second or third or fourth or a millionth time, or you're catching replay. We just want to say hello and welcome and blessings to you and your family around the world, wherever you are. May love, joy, peace, and safety be with you and your families. Today's show is being broadcast on the amazing, wonderful Spanglish World and Her Network on Zingo TV, channel 250 and 251. And if you don't have the Zingo TV app yet, what are you waiting for? Get in there, download the Zingo TV app. It's free. What do you got to lose? Absolutely nothing. Download it, join us in here and on all the restreams from Spanglish World and the Her Networks on a weekly basis. The apps are free. It's also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV sticks, our Roku friends and the Roku stick people out there. We love you guys. Thanks for joining in and tuning in. And you know the peeps I got here on the show. It has been a hot minute. And as a matter of fact, we are a hot minute getting in here tonight. It's the full moon, and we have things going on, and so we're just going to tribute the lateness to the full moon going on. Like, what in the world is going on? So I want to say a big warm welcome and thank you to Yayoi and Cindy. Oh my word! It's so great to see you guys. What is good in the neighborhood?
All is good in the neighborhood. It's a full moon lunar eclipse today. So I blame the lateness on that.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah. Cindy, how about you? What's going on?
All good in the hood.
Yeah.
Things are great. And, you know, lunar eclipse, full moons, moons with pants on, half moons, whatever, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Go to Denny's, get a moons over my hammy. Why not?
yeah, I know, right? I know what that is. Anybody else, Miss Brain to Belly, you know what the moons over my hammy is? Oh, Denny's.
Oh
Hello.
yeah. Yes. Denny's.
I
Denny's has a
haven't
great.
been to a Denny's in ages.
Next time you're there, all the Denny's peeps, you know what we're talking about. A little moons over my hammy.
That's
Nothing
right.
hits better at midnight than a moons over my hammy.
Love it. Love it.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Cindy, for everybody that might not know who you are, give us a little bio on you, if you will, please.
I sure will. My name is Cindy Gould. I am the founder of Cindy Gould International and Create Your Victorious Life. Thank you. My TV show, which I love, right here on the Spanglish World Networks and the Her Network. I also am the founder of the Victory Network on Facebook. Come join us. It's so much fun. And basically, for me personally, I love what I do. I love working with the people that I work with. I help you figure out who you are, why you're here, what you're going to do about it, and how to create victory in every area of your life so you go from living in the land of suck to the land of succulent and juicy and have an awesome life. So thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Cindy. And up next, we have the wonderful, fabulous, and amazing Yayoi.
Yes, hi. This is Yayoi from Brain to Belly. I am also the founder of the Brain to Belly show. I'm very consistent. So my Facebook group is also called Brain to Belly. So, hey, you can't miss it. You'll know I am the Brain to Belly lady.
That's right.
Think of it that way, Brain to Belly lady. So I am also been in the wellness industry for over 20 something years, and I help women mostly change their relationship with food. So if you're frustrated with the yo-yo dieting, just not eating healthy, I'm here to help you and guide you so that you can find that peace and freedom from those chains that keep on binding you and pulling you back into those bad relationships. So that's who I am, the Brain to Belly lady.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Yayoi, for sharing that. And you guys know me, Coach Eric from the Energetic Life Now. I am all over social media and, of course, my private Facebook group, which is the Empowered Family Network on Facebook. You guys want to have a great time in there with family. It literally is for family, whatever family means to you, however that is set up for you. Come join us over there. And as we talk everything related to our families and how to best support each other in the family dynamics. So thank you guys both for being here tonight. It has been a while since
Wow.
I've done a show. We took a break for the Olympics and this and that and everything. So it's good to be back. Good to have the show rocking and rolling and to be here with you guys. So tonight, and for those of you guys that might not know, the three of us, we are colleagues, friends from across the U.S. and all up and down and around. And we met together at the Neuroencoding Institute with
Yes.
Dr. Joseph McClendon and also with Dr. Daniel Amen from the Amen Clinics and the Amen University. And so we have gone on this journey of self-development and growth for ourselves so that we could bring the best of us, not the rest of us, to the world to help you in any way, shape, or form that you need. So tonight's topic is going to be situated around what we think and what we feel when it comes to the things that show up for us automatically.
Ah,
And if you know Dr. Daniel Amen, he has this wonderful acronym for the automatic negative thoughts called the ANTS, automatic negative thoughts. And so tonight I wanted to really pop into one that has been really on my heart and mind lately that has been really challenging me. And I'm so grateful for that because my awareness level has been going through the roof. And I'm like, man, why is this just keep showing up for me? So I thought we would have some fun exploring this tonight. And the ant that we're going to be talking about is called the less than ant. And this less than ant is one that is most toxic to our self-esteem. And we're going to be talking about this and sharing from each of our different perspectives around joy and families, and happiness and brain to belly about the less than ant because I think uniquely for the three of us it comes in and around different places, but the results are the same. And so, for you guys that are watching, I really hope that you guys really tap into your experience with the ants tonight, with the less than ant, and understand that this is coming from a space of a comparison-based identity around something. And when we get into that space of comparison-based identity, that's where I now become what I think and feel about myself as being less than. So, have you ever been in this place where you're thinking to yourself, I am not good enough? I am not a good enough parent, a spouse, a family member, son or daughter, if you will, boss, employee, coach, investor. I'm not smart enough, rich enough. Some people might think they're not tall enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not pretty. I'm not pretty. Yayoi, I love you. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not funny enough. Not kind enough. So anyway, there's a list. There's a group list of some things that we might think I'm not enough of. And isn't this what plagues us? Like, how do I bring or get enough? Is that even possible? How do I get enough? So, Yayoi, let's start with you, okay?
Yes.
Because you've got an amazing story. And so, where does this less ant, this
Wow.
comparison-based identity, how does that? What's your story with this of and how that's really contributed to your brain to belly focus?
Wow. Gosh, it's been a story my whole life, really. The comparison, I'm not good enough. I'm not, especially the I'm not Japanese enough, or I'm not. Yeah, well, that's how I felt when I lived in Japan, that I wasn't
Right.
Japanese enough because
Right.
already I was tainted by American culture according to Japanese culture.
Mhm.
And here I wasn't exactly all American either because of the way I looked and of course, my Japanese habits. So it was like comparison all around all the time. And then that, of course, helped me, well, not helped, but pushed me to where I was like, I'm not good enough in anything. I'm not enough of anything. So that, of course, that goes to then food and comfort because I've always associated food with safety and comfort because when I was a baby, my mom would be like, "Oh, let's just feed her if she's crying." So, which a lot of moms do. And, so I just associated that with love and comfort.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my not enough, yeah, associating with food. And that's my story, really.
Mm.
And eventually that became you know, a full-blown eating disorder
Yeah.
as well, and all the other things. So
Yeah.
yes, the less than ant is someone that I am very, very familiar with.
Mm. Yeah, Yoi, thank you so much for sharing that with everyone. That's thank you for the courage to step into that space and so yeah, Yoi has created this whole program now. She just said, eating disorder was a cause and effect of this less than ant,
Mhm.
and how she's been able to turn this around and into a profitable coaching business around brain to belly eating and how that really helps one really realign themselves into getting the results that they want mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And so just thank you for what you do and how you bless the world.
Hmm.
So Cindy, let's go to you as we talk about less than.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, there was a season in my life we moved from, I'm Hawaiian and Sicilian, and we moved from Southern California, which kind of close by you, to Utah during Farrah Fawcett days. And it's funny that today because I'm traveling and I'm in humidity and I've got my normal hair, which is all you see this. So and I actually was a little darker when I was younger than I am now. The more children I had, the lighter the melanin in my skin got. So we moved, like seriously, we moved to Utah, and we were LDS. My family is LDS, and I grew up in that. And since then, of course, I go to non-denominational Christian, which you guys know. But I remember, like, people would even try to convert me because I looked Mexican. We were the only ethnic family, like in our school. Mexican equals Catholic, right? I mean, back then, everybody looked like Farrah Fawcett. And what was funny to me is I had a built-in tan, and these girls would lay out on tinfoil in the snow with baby oil to achieve the same effect. Now, the opposite is my sister and I would literally put our hair on the ironing board between the thinnest dish towels we could to try to iron it out till we went to Central America and learned from the beautiful girls there how to use the biggest size orange cans literally to roll our hair. I'm not kidding. And we'd sleep like this. I mean, the things, right? But I remember thinking, I'm not Mormon enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not fit enough. I'm just not enough. I'm not smart enough. And I was a straight A advanced honor roll student. I mean, there was never a time during that season of my life that I felt enough. So consequently, the way that played out for me later, and bear in mind, like I won the track meets, the gymnastics, I mean everything, right? And still, and I know I'm speaking to somebody in this audience that's listening now or in the future. You achieve, you people please, you do all the things, right? To be enough. Well, what that actually means is I'm not loved enough, right? And that's what we're feeling. And I remember during that season and then coming out later from it, and being like, screw this, but where did we end up? I mean, Yayoi can speak to this as well. We ended up in abusive relationships and marriages and places where we were reminded
Yes.
that we weren't enough because that person had issues, right? And they were being
Yeah.
abusive.
Yeah.
And I mean, because we magnetized exactly what our heart was beating out there. I'm not enough. Well, here. So when we do that, what happens, right, guys? We know this from the whole all of it is that we're going to bring to us absolute proof, right?
that we're not enough. Yeah.
Right, that we don't like. And what's interesting is that when we think about it, and I learned this later, like a while ago, but every cell in our body, every cell is eavesdropping on the conversation that we're having with ourselves.
Mhm.
And then what did they do? Oh, let me go find ways to make it
Happen. Yeah.
last, right?
Yep.
So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's great, Cindy, and thank you as well for your story and your vulnerability and how you take that to working with women and in your coaching groups and things of that nature to help people to overcome that because it is it's such a toxic trait that we allow ourselves to get trapped in.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I know I'm bald, I'm beautiful. I mean, you'd think this guy's got it all right here. Like you can't mess this up. I mean, it's just no. But listen, I am in that mess of that myself because why? I grew up in that space of, like Cindy, you were saying, sports was your thing, and mine as well as music, and academically, I was the caboose of the class, and I used to joke about it, like, you know what, I'm just making sure you guys are out in front, and I'm back here. I'm just going to protect the tail end of the class over here, okay? And when you begin to hear and understand, well, that's just Eric. He's just that or that just I don't like that, right? And so as you're hearing and seeing those things that are happening, you begin to believe it.
Yes.
And oddly enough, here I am, the low academic achiever in the class, right? What do I become in my life? A teacher, right? So I see firsthand, right? The irony. So I see firsthand this in my kids at the middle school and right now, and constantly in this space of trying not to be singled out or called out or targeted by what they're wearing, how they're talking, who they hang out with, because it's such a comparison-based identity product, the education system, and how many of our kids are suffering from low self-esteem, depression, suicide. All of these things go into that makeup of who and what we are as individuals. And I love, Cindy, that you said a minute ago, like what we think and feel is what we begin to project on ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
And when this projection just keeps looping and looping and looping, the body listens.
Yep.
The body now gets into that place and goes, you're right. You're not enough.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And so, like, how do we move through this space? And how do we begin to shift that, what we're thinking and feeling, to get to that place of validity of truth? Somebody said a minute ago, like, how do we challenge that and come into truth?
Well, you had mentioned earlier about awareness, being aware, and how, and I think the first step is recognizing that we are, that we are in this not enough place, right? Or that we're thinking in that way. Our bodies are automatically thinking in that way. And just to be aware is the first step to creating that. Basically, we're trying to scratch the record, or we're trying to break that pattern, right? Basically, because we want to break that pattern, because it's a pattern that's been ingrained in our whole system, in our whole bodies and everything. We want to change that so that we're getting a better, more pleasant, if you will, frequency or energy into us. And it's just by like saying, when you say, like, I think I did a post this morning on, because I woke up, I don't know why I woke up and thought, I feel fat. And I really felt that way for some freaking reason. And sorry. And
Hey, let me interrupt just a sec. And for those of you who are watching, she's so stinking tiny. That,
Right?
like, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why you and I are like, really, we both leaned in, like, what? But yeah. So go ahead, brain to belly girl.
yeah, so I felt that way, and I'm like, oh crap, what's going on, right? And it could have been because I was watching a stupid movie last night. But anyway, and that probably influenced what I was thinking, because it was on Netflix, and it was about the society. It was called The Uglies, right? So
Mm.
yeah, and of course I would watch it, right? And so that's probably why I felt fat in the morning.
Mhm.
And but then I was like, I recognize this. And I was like, oh crap, I've got to break that pattern. And I
Agreed.
know how to break the pattern.
Mhm.
So, I start off with like, okay, my victory pose, and then started doing all my incantations and realizing that. But it's that awareness that we need first to
Right.
get to breaking that pattern.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of dominated
No,
on that,
no,
but
that was great. And funny enough, like we had a class 3 or class 4 solar flare last night. So in the middle of the night, the Schumann resonance was there was a lot of downloads that were going on. And so even by you in the middle of the night and waking up the next morning, having that those thoughts and feelings, that could probably have been that time of you were releasing that
mm-hmm,
and
100%.
letting go of those
yeah,
thoughts and feelings.
yeah.
Because now, did you guys all pick up on that? She's like, I did my victory pose, and I did this, and I did this, and I did this. That's the release, and I'm so happy for you. That's just so amazing and so wonderful.
Thank you. Well, I am the brain to belly girl, so
Well,
I
oh,
need. Hey, I have to be the example
yeah,
too.
But you did it. I mean,
yeah,
at the end of the day, here's the thing. Like, all of you who are watching, you can watch all the episodes and everything else. The point is that you actually did it. It's like, because we know this is what we do for a living,
Yeah.
and we know, but I know for myself, like, I get in different places and spaces, and I've encoded myself in a certain way, because for me, like, and I want to speak to the people that, okay, well, that's all well and good, but I really believe that I'm fill in the blank, right? And how do you change that belief when you have no frame of reference to change it? Because even generationally, I'm broke, I'm fat, I'm busted, I'm disgusted, I'm this, I'm that, right? I'm whatever, fill in the blank. And how do you do that? And I know for myself, the way that I actually did that, and we talked a little bit about it before, was with gratitude.
Hmm.
And this is how I did it. And I'm going to tell you, because it's such an amazing thing. And in fact, Dr. Joe Dispenza recently spoke about this, which is super cool. And you can do this 3 times a day, 15 minutes each time. Okay. When you do it for 4 days, they scientifically, blood work, the whole 9 yards, have proven that it will increase your body's production of immunoglobulin A, which is your body's natural um, flu shot and protector of everything. Okay, so I mean, it's a physical change. This is what you do, and this is what I did with. And it's funny, because when I saw that, I'm like, well, no wonder I haven't had a cold in 35 years. You know what I mean? It's like it instantly started to click, because 3 times a day for 15 minutes each time, you literally put yourself to where you feel it in your fingertips, to your toes, to everything, like the victory pose, everything you are grateful for. And I mean, and those of you who know me know, I'm freaking grateful for my Melaleuca cinnamon essential oil toothpaste, because it reminds me of when I was a kid with the cinnamon sticks and how cool I thought I was, because I had the ones that would soak in oil. You know what I'm talking about. I know Eric knows for sure.
yeah.
But, and they were so the bomb. But every single thing you're grateful for. So whatever it is, I learned to be grateful for curly hair and not having to put a lot of work into it. Exactly right, to that smoking hot bulb thing he's got going on. I mean, but you're grateful for everything, even when you're at the dollar store and you can buy 10 things because you're grateful that last week you could only buy 5. You stack the gratitude. When you're at the dollar store buying your toothpaste, you're grateful that you have freaking toothpaste. When you're there and you can buy school supplies for your children, you're grateful because you have that. Every single thing. This is what I did. So when I was grateful, I thought, well, a girl like this has these things, right? And I was grateful for that. And I started to believe that, hey, I have these cool things, right? Whether it's dollars, whatever it is. And it started to really do a work in my body. And I actually released 130 pounds. And yeah, thank you. And I had been small, and then I went through a season of not of suck, a land of suck. And during a season, and gained over 100 pounds, and then released it, not just through that. I did some other medical things and other things that helped me to do it. However, to keep it off all these years, right? That's the gratitude practice. And gratitude leads to joy, and joy is a frequency. And when you're humming in joy, right, guys?
Yeah.
Then you are the person who walks in the room and everybody's like, I want what they're eating.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so great, Cindy. Thank you so much for sharing that. I just love every morsel of that. That's just great. Thank you. One thing about this that we mentioned a few minutes ago is when these toxic thoughts come in about us being less or not enough, that target our confidence and our self-esteem. And we said it is asking ourselves if it's true. Now, I personally will ask myself this, and I'll do it in like a bruh, are you serious tonality, because I just want to like give myself a mental smack in the head, because I'm like, dude, seriously. And then I want to pat myself and go, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And I make it sarcastic because I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't be in this position where I'm still dealing and allowing these thoughts to come in. And so I'll be super sarcastic with myself, like, dude, come on, man. What are you doing? Right. And so then of course, then I'll flip that script and I'm like, no, obviously this isn't true, because look what I've done in my life. Look how far that I've come. Look how high I've climbed. Look how much I've grown. And so then I'll, like you just said, Cindy, I'll give myself a little gratitude rampage in my growth, and I'll get super happy and super excited about what all the things that I have done. And I remind myself that I am not who that was back then. I am who I am right now. And I live in truth. And I step into my truth. I step into my power. I reclaim my power. I reclaim my destiny. And now I'm moving forward. And it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
100%.
Amen. I love that. Amen. Preach.
So this going out to all our friends and family around the world right now, whether it's you personally or you have your kids or family members or neighbors, even your dog might need a little pat on its head and say, oh, you're such a good boy, right? You might need to do that. But here's the intention behind it, is that it is going into our cellular structure to rewire what we're thinking and feeling, so that we get to this place, we have faster connection, faster awareness, and we realize that what we're saying to ourselves is not true. And that we can stop and break that cycle that's going through our body in our nervous system, and we can put that break in there and stop that path, that trajectory through our entire body of this thought or this feeling that's coursing through our nervous system.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You just short circuit it.
Yep.
Short circuit.
Literally, you just short circuit that sucker. And you know what Yayoi said earlier about immediately, I wrote it down. I wrote down, oh crap. That's what I wrote down. What's going on? She said, I love that you have that self-awareness.
Yeah.
Oh crap, this is not normal for me to feel this way.
Yeah.
And I feel like our number one job needs to be every single day. This is just Cindy saying, to feel, and my friend Jessica Quigley said this, and I was like, oh yeah, is to feel magnificent, spectacular, and amazing all day, every day. And so when you feel short circuited by a non-resourceful thought like that, I mean, and I agree with Eric. I think it probably just came up for you to release, but I totally got that when Eric said that.
Right.
But I love that you did. Oh crap. And what did she do? Victory pose, all of her incantations, all the things to lock and load. And the other thing that I would add to that is when some of these things happen, what do we do? And I know all three of us do that. Have I been drinking enough water? Am I getting enough rest? How am I nourishing my body? Right? How am I nourishing my eyes, my ears? I've got the same teeth thing going on too.
Yeah.
But because it's so easy. Have you noticed when you're tired that you could be like a butthead? I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you're tired.
Yeah.
I mean, to yourself first, right? And then to everybody else after.
100%. 100%. Yep. Yep. So I want to throw out an idea that I heard this week, I'm going to give a huge shout out to a coach that I met on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. She's Coach _ Annie, ANNIE. I'm going to massacre her last name. It's PETSHE. Annie Petche.
Petche?
I think so.
Pesci?
And she's a multi-passionate coach. And you know what? This was divine because I got to connect with Coach Annie here on social media. And she said something the other day that just blew my mind. She said, multi-passionate people, which I now understand that is me. I am a multi-passionate, big thinker, big, big plans and all these big ideas. She said, what happens is society will put us into that box, right? Mm-hmm. And so we don't want to, the society wants to contain us in that box. And she said, we as a multi-passionate, those of us that are multi-passionate people need to bust down that box. We need to break down that box and get out of it. Because we cannot be contained because we have big dreams, we have big plans, we got big ideas,
right?
And we need to go after that and be passionate about what it is that we do and go after that. Because, and I'm saying that because here's the tie-in. As we're thinking about the self-esteem here in this less than ant, I'm in this box and I'm breaking down the walls of that box and I'm asking this question. Ready? Why not me?
100%.
Why not me? So here's what I'm going to ask the two of you. When has a time been in your growth journey that you had that revelation of, you know what? Screw this. Why not me? And then what happened? What transpired for you after that?
Wow.
How did that show up and change the trajectory of what you were doing because you said, I'm not sitting still. I'm moving.
Well, COVID did it for me. It was during COVID when, it was a time for more reflection, definitely. I wasn't bogged down with all the responsibilities that I had running from one place to another place. Because I was working, at the time I was working 3 jobs, I think.
Wow.
So, I'm running around from one place to another, and I was literally on that hamster wheel of working in corporate America and other places in corporate America, and going around. And COVID kind of just said, wait a minute, reevaluate what's going on. And I think that was kind of like what helped me to see that things were different, that I deserved so much more, that I had to get off this hamster wheel because I wasn't tapping into who I was anymore. I thought I was okay, being on this hamster wheel, doing this and that. And, I was great multitasker. I still am. But the thing was, I wasn't feeling who I was. I wasn't connecting to my heart.
Mhm.
And COVID let me do that. And by connecting to my heart, I was able to be who I am. And now, and also my age, I turned 60 last year. And that was kind of like, okay, well, who gives a blank, blank, blank what anyone thinks? I'm me. And I'm going to love my superheroes. I'm going to love my puppy. I'm going to be crazy, crazy me and brain to belly lady, and also loving my superheroes and my mangas and my comic cons and all of that. And I don't care what anyone thinks.
That's right.
I
I'm a
love
total
it.
geek, sci-fi geek and all that. And that's okay.
Yes.
Totally okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
That's so great.
and the way I look, hey, I love who I am. I love the fact that I have a healthy body, that
Yeah.
I can walk, I can talk, I can articulate, I can go to Comic Con and go through all the venues and just love all that, and that I can have fun.
yeah.
And
that I
dress as
can
Barbie.
enjoy. Yes, and I dressed up as Barbie last year. Yes, I did. And this year I'm thinking Lady Deadpool, but we'll figure that out later.
How fun.
That's awesome. I love it.
So
Thank
that's
you,
me.
Yayoi.
I love it. I know, Eric, what a great question. So for me, in 2017, we moved about 20 minutes from the Canadian border, 2.5 hours from our family. And I was married at the time. And the lumberjack town of 432 people. I was the diversity. That's it, And I mean, I was grateful to have my teeth. I was grateful. You know what I mean? It was like I was in that kind of town. And I remember thinking, oh my heck, I'm going to be in big trouble here. I'm going to die, wither up. I mean, and so I took to heart, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang with.
Mhm.
And online, I started hanging with Tony Robbins. And which who I had for years followed since the infomercials and the whole 9 yards, but and eventually then Joseph McClendon, and I started watching like Jesse Duplantis and Bill Winston, and I picked 5 people that I could do that with, and I actually poured into myself because I kept thinking, this is not my life. This is not what I'm here to do. I am not in alignment with my assignment. I am not walking out what God purposed me to do. And you know that because your body tells you that, right?
Mhm.
Like you were saying, Yayoi, your body knows. So what happened is fast forward to November of 2019, Miami, I went to UPW, and then I joined a mastermind after that with Carolyn Ozuna, and Joseph McClendon is the one who teaches once a month. And now here we are. And I remember joining Joseph. And when I did that, I hired Vinu Keller, our instructor, as a coach. And everything changed for me. Of course, I got divorced. There's just all the things. However, I remember saying to Vinu in our first call, she said, well, what are you going to do with neurocoding? I said, oh, I'm going to speak from stage with Joseph. I'm going to be in leadership. I'm going to do this, 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 this. I know. And now you guys know, right? I mean, all of that stuff. And it really is because I was in alignment, and something that Yayoi said, I connected to my heart.
Mhm.
And I connected my heart. I made sure that I had that constant stream with God so that I knew, because as a man thinketh in his heart, you have a brain in your heart, so is he, right? And I made sure that my thoughts were in alignment with what I've been purposed to do and with his thoughts about me. And that's what happened.
Ah, that's beautiful. Listen, friends and family around the world that are tuning into this, holy smokes, is this amazing or what? I am so grateful for the two of you for being here on the show, because I knew we were going to get into some serious celebration and unpacking of ourselves for the world, and be vulnerable in that. I think for me, as I look at why not me. I think I don't know there was a lot of big things that happened way back when. I think like you said, yeah, Yoi, it's kind of since COVID hit, and then like you two, we're all founding members of the Neuroencoding Institute, and I think that was the change of my latitude and attitude, as Jimmy Buffett would say, changing the latitude and changing the attitude. And yeah, we missed you, Jimmy.
Mhm.
That really was the change for me, is coming in there. And I came in thinking, oh, I'm going to speak from stage, I'm going to become a coach, I'm going to do all these things. I didn't realize what was going to happen in my journey. And when I began to let go of those things and really begin to see and understand um, what who I am, and even right up until like this week and last week, and I'll just tell you about Coach Annie that I connected with. It's like I had this defining moment a few days ago where um, I got to this revelation of I actually see me for me
Ooh,
Love that.
that's
because
cool.
I'm understanding more about me.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful space to be in. And I remember just being here in the living. This is my living room. In the living room, I'm in the corner. Don't put baby in the corner, but here I am. And in the living room, and I had this defining moment where I'm just like, wow, this is me. This is me. And then so now I say, okay, well, why not me? Exactly, because now I understand it. I can break the walls of this box.
Yeah.
And now I'm asking myself, well, what can I accomplish now that I'm not scared to go and do it?
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
What can I accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's like it just keeps opening up, and the abundance keeps just pouring in, and the opportunities keep pouring in. And I'm like, I got to say, hang on a second here to some of these things, because now I'm like, holy cow, I got too many things going on. And and I'm like, well, I want to make sure that I stay in a space of some fidelity here to accomplish what my potential is.
Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful.
And I love that for me in a very respectful and beautiful way for myself, as I know you guys are understanding that. So, as we're thinking about our friends and family around the world, whether it's on your show, Cindy, or your show, Yayoi, we all collectively have this beautiful message to share, that even though there's times in our lives of which we feel less than, make that short.
Mm-hmm.
Make that time short. Make it only a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go down that pity party rabbit hole,
Okay. I got my lightsabers out.
right? You have your protection. Yayoi has her protection.
I
I have
love
my
it.
lightsabers.
I
Yes,
love it. She's so
you're
cute.
fighting off.
Yeah.
You're fighting all this off.
Right.
I need some of those lightsabers.
I do too.
Amazon.
I see
You'll get them for
myself going to
Christmas.
school, and when I hear my students doing that, I'm going to break those patterns with them. That'll be
Yeah.
my
I
pattern
love it.
interrupt.
I
That would
love
be actually great. I'm going to send them to you for Christmas,
I love
Beautiful.
it. Love it.
both
Love
of you,
I'm so
because
down.
it's so, I mean, it's so beautiful. I'm so happy for you, Eric, and getting to that place. And like you said, it's don't waste your time. Life is short. Don't waste your time.
it.
Going over, why not me? Why isn't this happening to me? Make it happen for yourself,
Right. Right.
because we have that power.
Right. Right.
And I love the energy here. I
Me too.
love you guys. You know that.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Too.
Yes.
Well, I love that when you said why not me, all you have to do is just change your intonation. Why not me?
Exactly.
Like, what are you freaking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Of course it's me. And now is the time. I am the one, and this is the place. Like I've crafted a whole workshop around that, and
Ooh,
that's my statement. I mean, that's the whole thing. That it's I am the one, and now is the time, and this is the place. And it's imperative that you have to take that stance with yourself,
Oh yeah.
right? I mean, and that's really what it boils down to, like you said. Well, and when you're being a whiny pea pants, like, because we get that way, right?
Sometimes, yes.
When you are, you know, it's like, wham, wham, call the ambulance. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like when you're doing that, it's like what Eric said, mitigate that time, shorten that time
Yeah.
up.
yeah,
And because this really is your life. This is it. Your time is a non-renewable resource.
Yep.
No matter what we believe about frequency and everything else, the one thing we all know about is that, and it's important that every second, every minute, every second, all of it matters. It all matters.
Yeah.
So do your thing, because we need you to do your thing. We need you to be your, brilliantly beautiful bald self. We need you to be, the brain to belly beauty. We need that. This world needs it right now.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, Yoi, thank you, Cindy, for that. I love that. That was beautiful. Yeah, Yoi, give us a recap of where it is that we can find you
Oh,
on social media and your private groups and all that good fun.
yes. Brain to belly. I'm the brain to belly lady. So anything, just you could Google brain to belly. I'm on YouTube as at brain to belly or B to belly, and also brain to belly Facebook group and brain to belly coaching.com. So and it'll be live, I promise, very soon. I had a little technical issue, so but yes, that's where you can find me, and you can find me here on the Spanglish World Network on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, and find me and get in touch with me because I am here to help. And
Thank you.
Cindy, now go.
Yes. So Cindy Gould on Facebook. My face will be there. You'll know it's me. The Victory Network on Facebook. Join the group. Please let me know that you saw this show or that you've seen any of our shows. Create Your Victorious Life is my show here on the Spanglish World Network. And it is on Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific. And so I want to thank you, Eric and Yayoi, because this was precious space for me to share tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Love it. Absolutely. Thank you both for being here. And of course, the Energetic Life Now. You can find me on all the social media handles and then also my private Facebook group, the Empowered Family Network. And come join us over there because we're doing great things with the family and all that good stuff. We're going to have Yayoi and Cindy back on here in a few weeks because we've got some major announcements coming. So be ready and stay tuned for that because we are ending 2024 on a high note and starting off 25 like rock stars that we are. So
Yes.
thank you guys so much for being here. We love you, appreciate you for tuning in. This show is also can be heard on the Spanglish Radio Network. Please check it out at spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.